Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News with Kim and Lisa. We are finally back with our first episode of 2025. And while thankfully our Real Housewives are also back on TV, unfortunately, the year is not off to a very good start. I mean, I can't even begin this episode without mentioning how heartbroken I am about everyone affected by the fires in LA. It's just hitting too close to home. I just can't stop seeing the news, hearing the news. It's just devastating. And so I just wanted to start off by saying we're thinking of everybody affected by what's going on in LA.
Yeah, and it is truly millions of people like being displaced. Now, maybe they lost their homes. Like the devastation is on another level. And just watching it unfold is completely heartbreaking. Like, I mean, people are just losing everything. And it really looks apocalyptic. Like it truly is just unlike anything, we've seen before. And I mean, LA has of course experienced wildfires in the past, but this has just been on another level. And so yeah, we're thinking of everyone. I know, some of the Real Housewives have been affected. Like Kim, you posted that Bo's lost her Malibu home. Former housewife Yolanda, her former home had burned down. I don't know of any others right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if there are some other Beverly Hills ladies, current or former, who have experienced loss in this incredibly tragic occurrence.
Yeah. And I mean, it's still going on. It's still happening. We're on day 4 of this, and it's heartbreaking. I mean, and as former Angelinos ourselves, that's where we met. I'm now in Orange County. You're in Arizona. So we are safe, but we know a lot of people that have been affected by this, are still being affected by this, are still evacuated, waiting to see what will happen to their homes. So shout out Lisa Sullivan. We love you. My friend Carly. It's just devastating. It's hard to focus on anything else during these times. However, as it always is, Bravo is always a form of escapism for me. No matter what is going on in the world, I can turn on the TV and watch Housewives, and it really does just like help me take my mind off of what's going on. So that's what we're here to do today. We are here to bring a little bit of light to the very dark, dark times that are going on right now. But before I dive in, I do want to share that I did post on my Instagram, along with a lot of other Bravo creators. We are trying to raise money for the LA Fire Department. So the link to donate is in my bio. If you could just give $1, like anything that you can do to help what's going on, would be amazing. There's also so many other organizations that you could, donate goods to, donate money to Baby, the American Red Cross. So just have these people, at the end of the day, even if you can't donate, that's fine. Just have these people in your thoughts, because it's rough out there.
Yeah. And thank you for setting up that donation, and, to you and the other creators, because every little bit is going to help, and people need it. They really need it.
Yes. So like I said, let's use this time to escape reality a little bit into the reality of Bravo and our Real Housewives, because we had quite a good episode this week coming back from our hiatus.
Yeah, I mean, I wish it was a little lighter, to be honest, because we had some pretty dark subject matter. Like we start off with Dorit and Erica at Pally House, and she's talking about how she's basically compartmentalizing for her kids. Her kids are still not aware of her situation with PK, that they're separated. And she says that they're going to therapy, and like she feels like they're not totally done, or like there's still this kind of glimmer of hope. And Erica kind of agrees with her and says, like, yeah, I mean, if he's sober and he continues to stay sober, like maybe don't slam the door on it yet, keep that door open just a little bit, just to see kind of what pans out. So I wish that there was a little more levity in the beginning of this episode, but Dorit like really is going through it. We see her parents come in town and she's very relieved because you can tell that she's just completely overwhelmed with what she has going on and she needs some help.
Yeah, Dorit, she is not having a good year. Things are really tough with her and PK. I think that as of now, and we'll see this more in the episode, her and PK seem to be on two different pages right now. I mean, she's giving him the benefit of the doubt. She's saying he's sober. I'm going to give him a chance. He seems done. I'm done. I'm over it. He kind of loses it in therapy. And so I don't know. I think that while Dorit thinks she's maybe going to try to work it out for the kids, that's not really how it's happening. And then, of course, the conversation of Sutton comes up and how it's this repeated pattern. And I said it last time, I'll say it again. I do not like how Sutton is moving this season. I think that people, including Erica, including Bose, who I'm going to give a major shout out to this episode, are seeing right through what Sutton is doing. And it's a pattern. She's, targeting these people that are in the lowest places of their lives and turning around and using that against them all season long. That's been her arc with Erica. It was her arc with Kyle. And now it's her arc with Dorit. And I'm tired of it.
Yeah. And hearing it laid out like that, it is clear that this is some type of pattern. So, Sutton, what are you doing? What gives? Why are we going after the most vulnerable person? I don't know. And then it's even more strange that it's shrouded in this sisterhood thing that she's trying to put out there of, we're bonded together and we can be open and honest with each other. And it's just strange. I don't know what her MO is, but I'm not into it.
Yeah, no, I don't know what that was. It's completely contradictory of what she's actually doing. So, I don't know. Actions speak louder than words, I guess. But we get another scene with Garcelle's beach house, and I was like tearing up during the scene because, we saw the beach house already, but this is the first time she's showing her kids the beach house. And I felt for her so much in this moment, seeing how proud of her that her kids were in this moment. It was so happy to see. I mean, you could really tell and really feel that she never in a million years thought she would be able to do this as a kid, and how successful she is and how she's been able to have this family and parent her kids through very, very tough times, to all of them end up here at this beautiful house having dinner together. It was just it was such a moment. It was such a heartfelt moment. I feel like Garcelle, I'm related to her. I'm so proud of her. I feel like she's part of my family. It was such an amazing moment to see.
Yeah, but then it was also, I think, even the more interesting moment in this scene is where she opens up about Oliver's past and his struggles with addiction, and she shares this heart-wrenching story about how one evening he showed up at her house and she had to distribute some tough love and would not let him in because it was clear that, he was on drugs or something, some sort of substance abuse was happening. And she needed a way to get through to him because apparently whatever she was doing in the past was not working. And I mean, I can't imagine having to make that decision and basically turning away your child. But she, as hard as it was, she knew that she had to do something drastic in order to basically wake him up. And thankfully, it seemed to kind of give him that jolt of okay, shit, I won't be able to see my family. I won't have them to fall back on if I do continue this. So, I mean, just honestly, shout out to Garcelle for sharing this because that's got to be so tough. She's going to get a ton of judgment from other people for doing this, but we have to remember, until you are in someone's shoes, like, you can't say what you should or shouldn't do. And I mean, thankfully, Oliver's on a much better path now. He seems like a great dad. Like, his little OJ is absolutely adorable. And so, yeah, I just shout out to her for sharing this.
Yeah, I mean, I took it as almost like a Mary Cosby moment, like these women are opening up about like some of the darkest times of their lives. And I think that, while people think these shows are so like surface level and about materialistic things, no, no, no. These women really open up and share like some of their deepest, darkest moments of their lives and the struggles and what they learned from them. And this can help so many people. Her opening up about how she handled this situation and, where he is today, I think, not only can other people relate, but they can probably learn something from this and the tough love that she had to kind of show him to get him through to the other side. So I thought this whole moment was great. Although, again, I don't, love some of Garcelle's interactions with the women. Her, like, and her family, and watching her success, I love it. I love to see it.
Yeah. And, they're multifaceted and our opinions are multifaceted. It's like we can like them for one thing and dislike them for another. So, I very rarely do we have a housewife that we are like 100% behind at all times. But I mean, that's the fun of it, right?
Of course.
So we get a really good scene with Dorit and Boz. Boz comes over to Dorit's house. These two are instantly bonding. They're becoming fast friends and they feel like they can, they understand one another. Boz says, Dorit likes to talk and I like to listen. So this is a match made in heaven. And she, oh my God. So this is when Dorit shares that she had the therapy session with PK. It was 4 hours long. 4 hours. Here's my question. Did they book a 4-hour long therapy session, or did it just snowball into something that long? And the therapist was like, I mean, I guess cancel all my other appointments. Like, we got some shit to work out. So I need to know if anyone has any answers. I need to understand if this therapist is like, have we checked in on that therapist? Like, are they doing okay after 4 hours of Dorit and PK?
I wouldn't be, no.
Right? And so anyway, PK apparently storms out of the therapy session. He says, this is why I want a divorce. This is why I don't want to be married to this woman anymore. And she's completely taken aback. I think any sort of hope that she had that maybe they would reconcile has gone out the window. And she's like, okay, the gloves are off. Like, we're fighting and I got to get my shit together now because I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think that she needs to be prepared for the worst. I think that she's giving him too much of the benefit of the doubt. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like they're on two different pages. I don't think they're on the same page about this whole separation. She seems to think it's temporary. I think he thinks it's just the step you take before you actually split up. So yeah. I don't know. I think Boz has been a great sounding board for Dorit across all aspects. She brings up like the diamonds and denim party and of course the Camille of it all, because it seems like a lifetime ago. But the last episode we saw, Dorit was calling Camille a stupid cunt. So of course she's going to bring that back up again. And, Dorit brings up a very good point. Why was Camille even invited to this event in the first place? She is obviously not a part of this group. She's not really friends with Kyle, I don't think. I think that this was a calculated move on Kyle's part. I think that Kyle and Dorit aren't good. I think that Kyle has said her piece to Dorit and kind of wanted to, stir up shit, but not really be the person to blame for it. So she brought Camille in to do her dirty work in this moment. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I think it's shady. I think that Dorit like exposed Kyle in this moment of really what she was trying to do with Camille there. And I don't know.
Yeah,
It's not
I'm
looking
gonna
good.
I'm gonna give Kyle the benefit of the doubt here and say that I thought her and Camille are friends, even though Kyle has said, "You're such a fucking liar, Camille." But that was years ago, you know? So I thought that they were friends and that's why she was there. But maybe, I don't know. I'm always the naive one that's like, no, I take them at face value.
Yeah, I don't know. Kyle, like I am Kyle, nope. She's rubbing me the wrong way this whole episode. Um, I don't know. I mean, of course they talk about the same patterns with Sutton, which again we'll get to, and Bose is gonna call her out at the Viper Room. But before we get there, let's talk about Erica's home makeover.
Yeah. Okay. So Erica has decided, and I'm unclear. I thought she was renting this home. Did she
She
buy
is.
this? Okay.
She did not. Yes, I have some thoughts about that as well.
Okay. That's weird because why would you spend a ton of money on redecorating, redesigning a home that is not yours?
Well, she makes it seem like it's going to be this like grand renovation, right? She's going to like transform her place. When in reality, I said this on Up and Adam, like I think it is like merely interior decor. He's
Yeah.
going to bring in a new couch. He's going to bring in a new mirror. He's going to bring in some coffee table books and an art piece or whatever. Like,
But even
I
then,
think it's just like interior design.
it's going to be at least $100,000 with what they were talking about. And I'm sure this guy has an expensive fee, probably more like 200,000. That's a lot of money to put into decor for a home that you are not going to be in forever. Because he's going to do it specific to that space, right? Like he was saying, like, this needs this, this outdoor area. Let's do this paint and everything. Like, it's not things that you can necessarily transfer to a different home. Sure, some of the furniture, but like, I don't know. I don't know. And listen, I'm happy for her. I think she's probably like, look, I'm not going to be in a position to buy a home that I want anytime soon. So I might as well make this my happy place. And I totally get that and love that. Do you need like one of the most renowned celebrity designers to do it? Maybe not.
No, she's also going to the Pacific Design Center to like, curate these pieces like Erica, like wayfair.com. You can get some like designer dupes. We'll never know. Like they have things that look like the expensive things. I don't know. But I do think she deserves a refresh and like there's still a lot of that old style from her old home in this, like the statues and the furniture. It is not her look. So I do want her to kind of, redo this space, but yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe she has like a long-term lease situation going on, like 5-year lease. Like maybe it is more of a home than we think it is. And for the record, I love her home. I think it's adorable. It's beautiful. I would kill to live there. I love the cabana, the pool. Very beautiful. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But this was like an interesting little offshoot with Erica.
He wants to give her a bedroom where she's going to catch a man because it was a little sad seeing her. I mean, me, I'd be like, oh, I love my bedroom. But like for Erica, it feels not grand enough. And I will say, like, I feel like her old house didn't necessarily feel like her either. It was very traditional decor, like lots of, browns and Baroque and jacquards and like just stuff that felt very kind of old. It didn't have this vibe that Erica has.
I mean, she had a chapel in her home while at the same time she is filming music videos in her thongs rolling around a bed with like it just didn't it was in no way Erica Jane. I think that was like her past life. She's grown into something else. And she needs like a sexy bachelorette pad. So I guess that's what's going to happen. But She's also coming into her own, coming back in the music scene because she has this event at the Viper Room, which I'm a little bit confused about as well, but we'll get there. All the women show up, except Kathy. I was sad we didn't get any Kathy this episode. But we did get Kesha, which was so weird. I love Kesha. I've loved Kesha since TikTok came out. It's interesting to see her with Kyle. I guess they formed a friendship online. Kyle is worried about the rumors of her and Kesha, though. Do you think she needs to be worried about rumors with her and Kesha?
I mean, I don't think she was necessarily worried. I think it was just sort of a self-deprecating moment where she's like, okay, I met this musician online. It's a woman, cue the rumors because that's what happened with Morgan. So I don't know. I don't think she's actually worried, but it is interesting that Kyle seems to, again, have a pattern of sort of sliding into DMs, or these musicians slide into her DMs. And I don't know.
Yeah. 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 She's into that like rocker girl, or I guess, whatever musician aesthetic. So I don't know. And speaking of patterns, Sutton has another pattern, and that is latching on to words and talking about them all season long. We had it with the violate with Crystal, and now, yes, it has come around again with weaponize, because the first moment she can bring it up, she brings it up.
And honestly, I think that there was a word last season too that she latched on
What
to.
was it?
I don't remember what it was, but I remember talking about it. So if anyone remembers, put it in the comments, because she definitely does this. She latches onto a single word and she's like, I don't like the way you use this word. This is what I have a problem with, is you said this. Sutton, get over it. Like, then look at the message behind the word. And I think the thing is, she's met her match in Bose. Bose is not going to back down. She's like, well, yeah, because this is what I meant. I said that because I meant it. And here's why I said that. Here's how you weaponized. And she's like, listen, I don't know if Sutton is delusional or calculated, but like, I'm starting to see who the real Sutton is. And she's not necessarily liking what she's seeing.
No, Bose hit the nail on the head with Sutton. Like Sutton is dangerous in these situations. Like she is going to like it's the pattern. She's calling out the pattern. She's going to take something that you're going through, turn it around and weaponize it on you. And I don't understand why Sutton continues to like fight the dictionary definition of a word. Like she is like, look up weaponize in the dictionary. You'll see what she did. Same thing with violate, I feel like. But she just tries to combat that and be like, well, actually, it means this, or actually, I did this. Like, no, just own it. In the words of Lisa Rinna, own it, take accountability and move on. You don't need to like latch on this and fight and like defend the definition of this word.
Yeah, Sutton Webster needs to like have a seat, because she's policing everyone's vocabulary and it's getting old.
I agree. And before we get to the whole thing, with Dorit and Kyle, I do want to shout out Erica's performance / not performance, because she goes up on stage and the DJ just presses play for her song, right? And I thought that she was just going to like announce, hey, this is my new single. Everybody like get ready, press play, step down. Let's all have a listening party or whatever. No, she continued to be on the stage with the mic, like kind of hyping up the crowd and like saying like 2 words here and there, but like not performing. I thought it was so awkward and weird.
So awkward.
It was like, why stand on the stage and sing like 2 words of the song and not perform? I don't know. Someone please tell me.
I feel like
why.
So this is why a tech rehearsal is crucial, because I don't think she knew what she was doing. I don't think they expected her to stay on the stage. I think it was simply supposed to be, hey, thanks for coming out. This is my new single. Enjoy. Pass over the mic, step down, and then they all just dance together. And she just kept staying up there. So then it was this like, all right, hands up. Let's do this. Let me hear ya. And it was awkward.
No, yeah. Even if, like, even give us a lip sync performance, like it's pick one, pick a lane. It was just not, yeah, it was
and
not.
I feel like
it was
we
not.
didn't get to hear enough of the song. Like they sort of played it, but not really. And I'm like, why didn't we hear the song? We've heard her songs plenty of times before. It's not like, we're hearing a new Kesha song where we have to like license it through the label. So I don't know. It was all a little bit strange.
Hey, head over to Spotify, Lisa. I'm sure it's there for your listening pleasure.
Are we sure?
Okay, so let's get to the Dorit and Kyle because I have a lot of thoughts about this. So I also have thoughts on how Dorit came to find out this information because earlier Erica and Dorit FaceTime and Dorit all of a sudden has this question. I wonder if Kyle and PK have been speaking. Where do you think she got this information? Do you think that Garcelle told her, that Kyle told her, that PK texts her? And we're just not seeing that in between moment?
Probably. Yeah, I feel like it probably had to be Garcelle because Sutton and Dorit aren't on great terms. So I feel like there was probably a conversation we haven't seen. Maybe it was off camera where Garcelle said, PK Texas Hold'em Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be because we did get a little smirk from Garcelle at the table, but Dorit does not waste any time. She is like, hey, Kyle, have you spoken to PK? And you can tell Kyle is not expecting this question. I feel like she feels like she's backed into a corner. She hesitates for a while. She says, well, it's just memes and jokes we send back and forth, not talking about the relationship. And Dorit's still now? And she's like, yeah, probably in the last week, he sent me a meme. Do you think that this is okay?
I was going to ask you the same thing. Okay, so initially I was like, I don't think that's a big deal. But then when you think about it in context and you think, okay, for example, if my good friend is splitting up with her husband and I have a good relationship with both of them, my loyalty is obviously going to be with the friend, even if we're going through something right now. And I was like, I do think it's kind of weird that I would continue to have this jokey relationship, not because of anything sinister going on behind it, but I think it's just more of a respect thing and a loyalty thing where, it's not important enough for me to engage in that. I need my focus to be on my girlfriend.
100%. And I don't know if you watch What Happens Live, but there was a poll, is this innocent or inappropriate? And I think Erica said it best. It's both because it's innocent. No one is thinking that Kyle is hooking up with PK. That is not what we think. But at the same time, it's also inappropriate that you're still talking to this guy who is pretty much the ex of one of your closest friends or was your closest friend. And also, to send memes back and forth to each other, we know this, you have to know that person pretty well. You have to know their sense of humor. You have to know their interests. You have inside jokes with people.
Mm-hmm.
We have this text chain where we send videos to each other back and forth because we know the person will like it or enjoy it or it's something we've spoken about. That is a certain level of friendship and relationship that you have to have, I feel like, in order to send these things that this person will laugh at or or whatever. So I don't know. I think it's shady. I don't know why Kyle seems to think that it's okay that what she's doing is like acceptable, because it's not in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. And I mean, she did say that I don't think she realized that her and PK, that Dorit and PK were not on speaking terms anymore. I think she may have thought that they were still sort of amicable because we saw a couple episodes ago Dorit and PK go out to dinner, and at the beginning they seemed like everything was fine. It was like, hi babe, mwah, mwah. So I think maybe Kyle didn't realize sort of the turns that had been taken in their separation. So I sound like a Kyle apologist, and maybe I am, but I feel like she probably didn't, I don't know, have the whole understanding of what was going on. And that's because she hasn't been close with Dorit and they've had tension. So, she probably should have just disengaged like Meredith Marks tends to do. But I again, yeah, I don't think that there was anything she was trying to harm Dorit by doing it.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. But then she gets all defensive. And in the confessional, we have her saying that PK has been a better friend to her than Dorit. Like, okay, that's where you need to quit. Like, that's where no, like, just stop it. Like, they also said if the roles were reversed and if Dorit was Texasing or whatever we want to say, Mo, that would not be okay. That there is no world and that would be okay, even
that
though
I
yes,
agree
we
with.
have the rumors about them. But no, Kyle would not be okay with that at all. It's just like there's a double standard here, and I don't like it.
So then in the middle of the Kyle Dorit conversation, Sutton chimes in and says, well, you can't shield these kids forever. And it's like, oh, Sutton, you really just couldn't keep your mouth shut, could you? Because that's obviously going to trigger anyone who is going through a situation. Like, don't tell me what to do with my kids. I know what's best for them in this moment. And don't think that you can like jump in there, especially when you're not on good terms with the person. Like, how did she think Dorit was going to receive that information? And so then it turns into Sutton and Dorit, and she's like, I will be there for you. I want to be there for you. And Dorit's like, why would I call you when you're the one who's saying like, I'm miserable, and like you're basically attacking me. You're telling me lean on me, but then you're showing me something else. Why would I want to lean on you? You don't support me. And Sutton gets so defensive and is just like, all right, I get it. We're not friends. We are not friends. I can be cordial. I will be cordial. She does this weird like cheerleading move, cordial. But I get it. We are not friends. And it's like Sutton is definitely turning this around and playing victim here, because I completely understood where Dorit was coming from. Why would I call you? Why would I reach out to you for support when you're not showing me that you're a person I can trust or that a person who supports me?
Yeah, Sutton's lost me. Kyle has lost me. I mean, the Dorit train just keeps going, and I'm on it. I am on the train with her, and I don't think that that's going to change this season unless like somebody does a complete 180. I don't know. Every episode, I feel like Dorit shows that, I don't know, she's in the right. I don't like how these other women are moving. While I want them to all get along, I don't know if that's going to happen. I think like Dorit is saying every episode she's fed up and she's not going to deal with this bullshit. If somebody does something or says something that she doesn't like, it's just not worth it to, try to, I don't know, like mend things right now. I think she just needs to tell them how she feels. So I don't know. And she tells Kyle, like, stop talking to me the way that you're talking to me, because Kyle is just kind of spiraling at this point. Like we had Sutton yell at her. Now we have Kyle yelling at her. And guys, like, just simmer down. I don't know. I feel like Dorit has every right to call these women out for what they're doing and saying. And I just could not be more Team Dorit. I just could not be more Team Dorit. And I don't understand how some people that I'm seeing online like are not on her side.
And it was so weird because it seemed like there was a moment, a fleeting moment, where Kyle said, I get it and I won't do that anymore. But then literally 3 seconds later, she's like, what more do you want from me? I said, I'm sorry. And just starts like jumping on her again. And I'm like, whoa, where did this anger come from? It sounded like you were getting somewhere peaceful. I don't know. But
I just felt like that wasn't enough. I just felt like that wasn't enough. I felt like, I don't know, you should know better than to do this in the first place. So just to say, I'm sorry, I won't do it again, while yes, that like, you know, supposedly should let you off the hook. I think that the bigger story here is like, where is your common sense? Where is your girl code? You shouldn't have done this in the first place. I shouldn't have to tell you that I don't feel comfortable with you doing it and to stop doing it. I think like that's the larger message here. So I don't know. I can't say it louder. I'm getting all worked up.
Speaking of Simma, okay, Kim's gonna explode. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I mean, it ends on a to be continued. So we will pick this up next week and see where this conversation goes. But you know, things are getting hot in the Viper room.
Yes. So drop your thoughts in the comments. Where do you stand? Are you with us? Are you Team Dorit? Can you defend Kyle? Are you a little bit of a Kyle apologist like Lisa? I love Kyle. Again, like we can separate I love all of these women, but you know, I just have opinions about how they act on the show. That's it. So let us know how you feel in the comments. That's my opinion. That should really be the name of this show because everything is my opinion. Nothing is fact. So let us know how you feel. And we will be back next week to cover more Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Can't wait. Thanks for watching, everyone. We will see you next time.
Bye.